So this is a 2001 Harley Davidson lowrider. As you can see, I'm on Crash Toys here. I'm going to go over some pictures. These are the pictures that you see on the auction website. It's got a front angle there. Kind of hard to see any fine detail really, but you get a pretty good idea of what you're looking at. My impression was that it was in fairly good condition compared to everything in the background, which is kind of misleading. They had it pretty polished up at the time of the pictures and not very polished at all when I went to pick it up. Nonetheless, here's all the pictures of it. The description of why it's totaled is minor dents and scratches. They'll give you your estimated retail value there, which is skewed, of course. It says on the highlights it runs and drives. Shreveport, Louisiana. And then you can see my winning bid was $2,300, but I paid just over $3,000, which turns out to be a good deal. As you can see here,
I don't have a wheel on it because this front wheel was also bent, which I'll show. If you come over here, you can see I took all the bolts out of this rotor, but as you can see, I'm not sure what is going on here. Anyhow, you can see the spokes are broke off. This one was visibly bent. I have a new wheel and tire because I found out that there's damage to the tire here as well. But those replacements are going to be going to the tire shop tomorrow to get replaced. And mechanically, that's the only issue with this motorcycle. Once I get a front wheel on it, it's going to get detailed and cleaned up and corrected and polished. I probably have to bleed the brakes. Last time I tried to use them, they were pretty terrible. But you can see here how disgusting these are, these lower forks. And if you look at this one, and cleaned up pretty well. Still got a ways to go, and these aren't waxed, polished, cleaned, nothing. This is just, you know, cleaned up with some steel wool and stuff, and that's it, not even rinsed. But this has got a long ways to go.
So this next segment here is kind of just an overview. You see here I'm getting close up on the lower forks, the fork tubes, and trying to show all this rust and pitting that you can't see in the photos. Even on the inside of these bars, there was some real bad rust. Not the end of the world, but you know, cosmetically it's really a turn off. These mirrors were so foggy you can't even see the reflection. Had a broken lever. I'm just zooming in here and kind of getting a close-up of all this cosmetic defects that you don't see in the photos when you're buying it sight unseen. For being in Louisiana, it sure had a lot of rust and pitting. It must have been from salt water or something, I'd imagine. All this is rusted and, you know, minor pitting at least. Here's just another view from the top. Got a broken turn signal light there. And here I'm going to show the beginning of the process of polishing this stuff, as you can see at the end of this clip here. I used some steel wool, zero grit, and I used WD-40 to lubricate it. And in the video, you'll see how it turns out.
New factory replacement 19-inch spoke wheel, aftermarket rotor. Well, I don't know, should work fine. Front brakes don't really work. I think this plunger's bad. I'll have to either replace this plunger or the whole master itself. This thing's roadworthy again. It's got some dents in the tank that I didn't see pictured when I bid on this. Sometimes it's hard to tell, and they make it like that for a reason. But I don't like these. I've thought about getting a different tank, but they're not cheap. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. We'll see. Also a dent right there.
Well, it turns out I did not get a new tank for it. I just used a lot of time to use that steel wool, zero grit, WD-40 as a lubricant, and just polishing it. I mean, it took a lot of time and a lot of elbow grease, but it came out pretty good. Cosmetically was the biggest problem here. Just a lot of handwork, but otherwise, a new front rim and tire, new rotor, and a new battery, and it was ready to go. And here's the final result. I think it turned out pretty nice, and I made a decent profit on this. As an outro here, as I just walk around the bike, so you can try and compare, the condition of what I got it and, what it turned into in the end. I think this one was a good deal. I ended up making about $1,500 profit on it. I could have made more. I sold it to a friend. I'm pleased with it. As far as my overall experience with Crash Toys, I'll probably make a few more videos on it because I've bought a lot of machines from them, and I'm sure I'll buy more. As long as you're careful, you do your due diligence, you zoom in on the photos, you take your time, you do your research as comparable prices. Don't listen to their market value because it's not accurate. And like I said, just try and get as much detail as you can. And if you can go look at it in person prior to buying it, if it's local to you, I recommend that. I've done that quite a few times at the local shop here, but a lot of the time what I think to be good deals are on the other side of the country, and sight unseen seems to be working for me for the most part here. So I'd recommend people try it if you want to invest in auctions. It's a good site to go to. Look in their terms. They'll tell you their additional prices, their gate fees, what percent you're going to pay. And there's really no hidden fees. It's all in those terms there as long as you look. And yeah, I'm pleased with this motorcycle. Thanks for watching. There's going to be plenty more videos like this. If you're interested, subscribe. Tell me what you think about this video, what I could do better, what I could do different. We are going to have an ongoing series with a DR200 that we bought from Crash Toys that we're rebuilding and going to turn it into probably a stunt bike, little baby DRZ I call it. Some fun stuff with that, and we'll be giving that away. So, subscribe and stay tuned for that if that's something you're interested in. Otherwise, you can just watch more of these style videos and everything else that I decide to post. So, all right, thanks for watching. I'm out.